Welcome back to another knowledge-boosting journey here on Peaceful Rooster Experience.
Yeah.
Today,
Buckle up
we are strapping in
for a deep dive.
into the world of Spark joins.
We're going deep.
You know, this isn't just Joins 101.
Oh, no.
This is all about
Equipping you
equipping you with the knowledge
to make the right choice.
so you can make your Spark codes sing.
Oh, yeah. And trust me, understanding these little nuances can dramatically improve your processing and open up new analytical possibilities.
Before we get into the nitty-gritty,
Okay.
let's zoom out and look at the big picture.
All right.
Imagine you have data spread across multiple tables.
Okay.
Maybe you have customer info in one,
Right.
order details in another.
Got it.
Joins are how you combine these tables
That's right.
to see the full story.
They let you connect the dots,
Yeah.
uncover hidden relationships,
Nice.
gain those aha moments
Yes.
that transform data into valuable insights.
Okay, let's dive into our first contender,
All right.
the broadcast nested loop join. I always picture this like having a tiny checklist
Yeah.
and a giant overflowing box.
It's a simple approach,
Yeah.
but sometimes brute force.
So how does this checklist and box method actually make sense?
Well, when that checklist, your smaller table is truly tiny,
Uh-huh.
like a lookup table with just a handful of rows,
Okay.
then it can be efficient for enriching your main data set
Okay.
with extra info,
So like
mapping product IDs to their full descriptions.
so it's not the go-to for massive data sets.
Right?
But sometimes that direct comparison is what you need.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
and often Spark's optimizer will just make the call for you,
Yeah.
and it'll choose broadcast nested loop.
If it thinks it's the most efficient route.
Exactly.
Up next, we have the Cartesian product join.
Okay.
And this one always makes me think of outfit combinations, like matching every shirt
Yeah.
with every pair of pants in my closet.
love that analogy.
It generates all possible pairings between two tables,
It does.
which can be powerful
Absolutely.
for exploring relationships,
Yes.
but also leads to a potential data explosion.
Oh, yeah. You got to be careful with that one.
So it's like saying, show me every possible combination, no matter how outlandish.
Yes.
So how do we tame this data beast?
Early filtering is key.
Okay.
Narrowing down the possibilities before unleashing this power.
Yeah.
Think blue shirts only
Oh,
to avoid matching every single item in your wardrobe.
so it's all about setting boundaries,
Yes.
defining those filters based on the insights you're after.
Precisely. And that's where understanding your data and having a clear goal becomes so important.
Now let's move on to a dynamic duo
Okay.
that's all about filtering with precision,
I like it.
semi and anti-joins.
All right.
I like to think of semi-joins as checking a guest list.
Perfect.
You're essentially looking for names from one table that exist in another.
Yeah.
Imagine you're trying to identify customers who have placed an order.
Uh-huh.
A semi-join can quickly pinpoint those with a match in your order table. So it's like a targeted search just confirming existence.
Right.
What about those who aren't on the list?
Ah.
That's where anti-joins come in.
Yes, exactly. Imagine identifying users who haven't made a purchase yet,
Uh-huh.
prime candidates for a marketing campaign,
Yeah.
or products that haven't sold,
Okay.
highlighting potential inventory issues.
They're so efficient for focusing on what's missing.
Yes.
Those gaps that often hold valuable insights.
Exactly. And they're especially efficient when you don't need data from the right table.
Okay?
Just a confirmation of a match or not.
All right, now it's time to get introspective
Okay.
with the self-join.
I'm intrigued.
This one's all about a table having a conversation with itself. I always think of a family tree tracing relationships like parent to child.
That's a great visualization.
Imagine you have a table of employees,
Okay.
each with an employee ID and a manager ID.
Uh-huh.
A self-join lets you find each employee's manager's name.
By joining the table to itself,
Yeah.
connecting those IDs.
It's like giving the table two different nicknames,
Yeah.
so you can tell which side of the join you're referring to.
Right.
Like if you have two friends named John, you might call one John S. and the other John B.
It's called aliasing.
Yeah.
And it's crucial for distinguishing the different roles within the same table.
Okay.
Clear join conditions are also critical.
Right.
Making sure you're connecting the right employee to the right manager.
Okay. So self-joins are all about uncovering those relationships within a single data set.
Yeah, those hidden connections that reveal a deeper story.
What other real-world scenarios benefit from this?
Think social networks.
Okay.
Identifying friends of friends, or mapping out organizational structures.
Okay.
Understanding the complex web of connections within the data itself.
And those connections can be key to understanding influence patterns of behavior.
So much more.
And so much more.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we're tackling the visual heavyweights of the join world.
Okay.
Outer joins.
Right.
Left, right, and full.
They're all about preserving data.
Yeah.
Making sure nothing gets left behind.
Even when there are mismatches.
Exactly. Think of it like combining two lists, but keeping everything from one or both, even if some things don't have a match. That's where NOLs come in, filling the gaps when a match doesn't exist.
So let's break down these data-preserving heroes.
Okay.
A left outer join keeps all rows from the left table.
Right.
And only the matching ones from the right.
Right outer join flips the script, keeps all rows from the right and only the matching ones from the left.
And the full outer join.
What?
That's the ultimate inclusivity party.
Everyone's invited.
Everyone's invited.
Match or no match.
Match or no match.
It combines all rows from both tables.
Using NOL to indicate where a match is missing.
Exactly.
I like to think of it as a Venn diagram, where the overlapping section is the inner join, but outer joins shows everything, including the parts that don't overlap.
That's a great way to think about it.
So when do we call upon these data-preserving heroes?
Anytime you need the full picture, even with incomplete or misaligned data sets.
Okay.
Imagine analyzing customer orders. You want to see all customers, even those who haven't placed an order yet.
And that's where a left outer join shines.
Showing you the full customer list with NLLs in the order details for those without a purchase.
Exactly.
It's about understanding the complete landscape of your data.
Yeah.
Those who haven't taken an action, as well as those who have.
We've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
From the simplicity of broadcast nested loop to the nuanced power of outer joins.
A lot of different tools.
What's striking to me is how each serves a distinct purpose.
They did.
Like specialized tools in a data scientist's arsenal.
It's not about picking a favorite.
Yeah.
But understanding which tool is the right fit for the job at hand.
For the job.
Knowing their strengths and limitations to write efficient, insightful Spark code.
And that's what makes Spark joins so fascinating. They're not just technical operations. They're gateways to deeper understanding.
They empower us to connect the dots, uncover those hidden relationships, and ultimately extract more value from our data.
Speaking of insights, one detail that really stood out to me was
how semi and anti-joins can just sift through massive data sets with surgical precision, focusing only on the existence or absence of a match.
It's like they have a sixth sense for finding those data points without getting bogged down by the details.
Exactly.
And that's where Spark's Optimizer comes in.
Yeah.
It's like a navigation system for your data.
Guiding you toward the most efficient route for your processing.
But knowing the terrain helps us make good decisions.
It does.
About fine-tuning our queries.
Speaking of optimization.
Yeah.
Let's go back to that Cartesian product join for a second.
Okay.
While it can be a data monster if left unchecked, we can tame its power with the right approach.
So it's not always a no-go zone?
Not at all.
Even with larger data sets?
Remember the early filtering strategy we talked about?
Yeah.
It's like setting boundaries for the combination explosion.
Yeah.
If we're looking for outfits with blue shirts, we don't need to see every single shirt and pants combination.
It's like we're narrowing it down.
Exactly.
To reduce the computational burden.
Right.
While still leveraging those combinations.
It's a collaboration between human intuition and computational muscle.
Okay. I'm ready to dive back into self-joins.
All right.
That idea of a table having a conversation with itself is still really fascinating to me.
It is a powerful concept.
Beyond the employee-manager example, where else do we see this out in the wild?
Imagine you're analyzing a social network.
Oh.
A self-join can help you identify connections between users, friends of friends, shared interests, even potential influencers.
So it's not just about those direct relationships, but uncovering those indirect connections that reveal the hidden fabric of the network.
Exactly. It's like mapping the invisible threads that hold a complex system together.
In a business context, think about supply chains or organizational structures. Anywhere where understanding interconnections is important.
Self-joins give you the tools to visualize those threads. Revealing patterns and insights that would otherwise be hidden.
Speaking of visualization, those outer join diagrams really help me grasp the different ways they preserve data.
They are helpful.
Ensuring nothing falls through the cracks.
They're a great visual aid. Especially for seeing the role of NLLs. those placeholders that indicate a missing match.
Like having a complete guest list.
Yes.
Even if some people haven't RSVP'd yet.
I like that.
Those NLLs are so important for maintaining that structure of the join tables.
Even when data is incomplete or misaligned.
And that completeness is so crucial for real-world analysis.
Absolutely.
When you're analyzing customer behavior.
Right.
You don't want to exclude those who haven't made a purchase recently.
Exactly.
A left out or join lets you include them with those NELLs.
To indicate the lack of recent activity.
So we're still capturing the full customer base.
You got it.
Even those who might be slipping away.
That's valuable.
It's valuable information.
It is.
For any business.
Outer joins help you see the bigger picture, understanding not just what's there, but also what's absent.
Which can be
the most interesting.
Lead to the most interesting insights.
It's about going beyond the obvious and delving into the nuances, the complexities that reveal the true nature of your data.
I'm starting to see a common thread running through all these join types.
What's that?
It's about choosing the right tool.
Absolutely.
For the job.
Yeah.
Understanding each join's strengths and limitations and aligning them with our goals.
I couldn't agree more. It's not about memorizing syntax. Right.
It's about understanding the concepts and applying them thoughtfully.
That's what makes Spark joins so interesting.
It is.
They're not just technical operations. They're gateways to deeper understanding.
They are. They empower us to connect the dots and extract more value from our data.
As we wrap up our deep dive into the world of Spark joins, I have one final thought. You know, with all this talk about efficiency and optimization, it's easy to get caught up in the technical stuff.
Yeah.
But it makes me realize how powerful these tools really are.
They are powerful.
It feels like we've leveled up our Spark skills and unlocked a whole new level of data analysis.
Mastery of these techniques opens up so many possibilities.
It does.
And as we gain the ability to analyze larger and more complex data sets, we need to use that power responsibly.
Absolutely. Especially when we're dealing with sensitive information.
Right.
You know, we need to be mindful of how our insights might be used.
Yeah.
And the potential consequences of what we find. It's a conversation we need to keep having.
Yeah.
Data scientists, engineers, policymakers, as we navigate this data-driven world, understanding the impact of our work and making sure it's used ethically is so important.
Well said. This deep dive has been a real eye-opener.
It has.
Not just for the technical stuff, but for the bigger picture as well.
It's been great exploring the world of Spark joins with you.
It has.
I hope our listeners are feeling ready to tackle their own data challenges with this new understanding.
With a sense of responsibility.
Absolutely.
And if this deep dive has sparked your curiosity, remember there's a whole universe of knowledge waiting a peaceful Rooster experience.
So keep learning.
Yeah.
Keep questioning.
Keep pushing the boundaries.
Of what's possible with data.
Sense time. Happy analyzing.